All right, let's get into it. We are going to talk all about slow cooking. And I promise you, this is so much more than just your grandma's old-fashioned winter stew. Think of this as a totally modern guide to a technique that honestly might just change the way you cook for good. I mean, does this sound familiar to you? You're craving that amazing, flavorful, home-cooked meal, but after the day you've had, who's got the time? Or the energy, right? It's such a modern problem. We're all just running around like crazy.
But what if the answer to our super fast-paced lives isn't to speed things up in the kitchen, but to do the exact opposite? What if the real secret is to just slow way down? Just look at this. That kind of deep, rich flavor, that does not come from rushing things.
Now, hey, you don't have to take my word for it. Our guide on this journey is Heather Whinney, who wrote The Slow Cookbook. And what's so cool about her is that she used to be a total skeptic herself.
And listen, this isn't just anybody saying this. Heather is a food pro, and she admits right up front that she's not really a fan of single-use kitchen gadgets. So when she says she's a convert, well, that's a pretty huge endorsement. It tells you there's something really special going on here.
So what exactly is slow cooking? Let's just break it down to its simplest form. At its heart, it's just this: a long cook time, a really low heat, and a pot with a lid on it. That's it. Simple, right? No fancy culinary school techniques needed.
And that beautiful simplicity leads to some seriously powerful benefits. I like to think of it as the triple win of slow cooking. 3 massive advantages that really make this technique a total game changer.
Okay, first up, it is unbelievably thrifty. Slow cooking is absolutely perfect for those tougher, less expensive cuts of meat that are packed with flavor but just need a little time and love to get tender. And same goes for things like beans and pulses. You end up with 5-star flavor on a 1-star budget. How great is that? And just how thrifty are we talking? Well, get this. An electric slow cooker uses about the same amount of electricity as a regular old light bulb. So yeah, it might be on for hours, but it's barely making a dent in your energy bill, especially compared to firing up your whole oven. The second big win is all about taste. See, over all those hours, everything in that pot just melts together. The flavors don't just add up, they actually multiply. You know, things like gelatin from the meat and bones break down, and that creates this incredibly rich, smooth, concentrated sauce, all by itself. And the third win, well, this one might be the most important for our crazy lives. It is so convenient. You do a little bit of prep at the beginning, get everything in the pot, turn it on, and you just walk away for hours. Dinner is literally cooking itself while you're out or at work or even while you sleep. Okay, so if you're sold on the why, let's get into the how. We're going to look at the essential tools and techniques that you need to know to get started. It's easier than you think. So you've basically got 2 main choices here. There's the classic Dutch oven, that heavy cast iron pot that's amazing because it can go from the stovetop right into the oven. Then you've got the electric slow cooker, which is the absolute master of set it and forget it. Its secret weapon, that super tight water seal, which means all the moisture and flavor stay locked right inside. Now, braising is one of the key techniques here, and it really is as easy as 1, 2, 3. First, you sear your meat. Second, you soften up your veggies. And third, you put them all together with some liquid and just let that low, slow heat do its thing. But that first step, searing the meat, it's so important we got to give it its own moment. Okay, let's zoom in on this first step because it is absolutely crucial. Searing the meat isn't about cooking it all the way through, not at all. It's about creating that beautiful, dark brown crust. That crust is where a massive amount of deep, savory flavor is born. So whatever you do, do not skip this step. All right, here are a few little pro tips to get you going. Go easy on the salt in the beginning because those flavors are going to get way more intense over time. Sturdy herbs like rosemary, throw them in at the start, but save the delicate stuff like parsley for the very end. And here it is, the golden rule of slow cooking. Resist the urge to peak. Every time you lift that lid, you lose a ton of heat and add at least 20 minutes to your cook time.
And hey, if you're worried you're going to mess it up, don't be. As Heather says herself, this is one of the most forgiving ways you can possibly cook. It's actually pretty hard to overcook something when the heat is that low, which makes it absolutely perfect if you're just starting out.
So, let's wrap this all up by completely shattering the biggest myth about slow cooking, and that's the idea that it's just for heavy stews on cold, wintry days. Oh, that could not be more wrong.
I mean, just look at the variety here. We've got creamy risotto, fall-off-the-bone ribs, a beautiful soup. This just proves that slow cooking is a versatile technique. It's not just one type of dish.
And think about this for a second. On a hot summer day, the absolute last thing you want is your big oven blasting for hours and turning your kitchen into a sauna, right? Well, a slow cooker keeps all that heat contained, making it perfect for summer curries or pulled pork for a barbecue. It's a game changer.
The possibilities, and I'm not kidding here, are endless. You can make delicate soups and broths, amazing tagines and curries, perfect pot roasts, even creamy risottos. You can even make desserts. Yeah, desserts. It's an unbelievably versatile tool to have in your kitchen.
So, I'll just leave you with this one last thought. You know, we're always looking for that next high-tech gadget, that shortcut to make our lives easier. But what if the real secret to better food, and maybe even a better pace of life, isn't some newfangled gadget at all, but a very, very old technique?